this meeting of the Atlantic County Board of Commissioners to order. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act of the State of New Jersey, adequate notice of this meeting of the Atlantic County Board of Commissioners was provided in the following manner. Published in the press of Atlantic City and mailed to the Current and the Hamilton Gazette, and has been posted on the bulletin boards in the county office building in Atlantic City, the Stillwater building in Northfield, and the county clerk's office in Mays Landing. Commissioner Days, you had the prayer.
Before we do the prayer, I'd like to offer a moment of silence for a friend and a long-time Egg Harbor Township Youth Organization coach, Tom Germana. He passed away unexpectedly the other day. He leaves behind his wife, who was the treasurer, recently named as treasurer, his son, who was also involved in the organization and played and led the team on the Cape's first championship that they won, and his daughter, for those who don't remember, was always on the sidelines taking pictures, not only at the YO games, but also at the high school. She's always taking pictures, filming. So he passed away unexpectedly, so I'd like to offer a moment of silence with our prayer.
Grant us the wisdom to walk in thy light and the courage to accept the responsibilities placed upon us. Grant that our principles may be sound, our decisions wise, and our performance in office faithful. Amen.
Amen. Everyone please rise for the flag salute. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Ballas?
Here.
Bertino?
Here.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Here.
Fitzpatrick? Here. Gatto? Here. Kern? Here. Parker?
Present.
Risley?
Here.
Madam Clerk, when I changed my vote from a yes to present.
Thank you, sir.
Nobody picked it up but Frank.
There's always one that present.
All good.
All right, let's talk about the minutes of the May 2nd meeting as presented, and we're looking for a motion to adopt them.
So moved.
Okay, moved by Commissioner Coursey, second by Commissioner Parker. Discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick? Yes. Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes, anyone in person that would like to speak during public comments, please come to the podium, state your name and how you reside. You will be provided 3 minutes to speak. If you are attending virtually, please type yes and the resolution number in the question and answer box. Any items not on the agenda, you may speak during public comments. You'll be called upon to speak and a request to unmute will be sent. Please state your name and the town you reside. Okay, let's begin with our first ordinance on final reading.
Ordinance providing for the operation of a traffic control signal at the intersection of Pomona Road, County Route 575, and Dr. Vera King Ferris Drive, a Stockton University Street in Galloway Township, final reading.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Coursey, second by Commissioner Kern. Discussion?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
One question. Like Mr. Corsi said, to you, through you to Jerry. Jerry, this is kind of connected to signalization, but not. I've been approached by several residents, I've seen it personally, about there's like a, I guess not a cracking, but a line down the center that's been resurfaced. Does anybody, our engineers have been okay with that, and our department signed off on that?
I've had this the first I've heard this, but I think Doug is on, you know. Doug, did you hear that?
We are actually working through several issues with the construction right now, through the punch list portion of the project.
So it's on the punch list then? Yes?
Doug, did you hear? Is the
Yeah, we are looking at the pavement issues as well.
Okay, so I know it's not directly involved, but I mean, it may be. I mean, if it's a a concern with the roadway, or our signalization is involved with that. I don't know, I mean, again, I just want to make sure it's being addressed, as I'm saying, moving forward.
Yeah, like I said, we are working through several issues we found during our punch list inspection. So we will get that all addressed before we make final payment on this project.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Any other discussion? Is there any public comment on this ordinance final reading? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick? Yes. Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes, please read resolution number 241.
Grant application and acceptance from the New Jersey Department of Human Services for the Personal Assistance Services Program Grant, amount not to exceed $41,634.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Coursey, second by Commissioner Amy.
Yeah.
And Gatto. I was thinking of Amy.
I wish I'm glad somebody does, John.
I think. Any discussion?
I just,
Please.
again, just wanted to highlight this program. I took a look at it. You know, we offer a lot of programs through the county, a lot of social services. A lot are grant related, where we're kind of a funnel point for the grant through state and federal sources. And this is just an example of one. And I'd like to try to call attention to some of these services when they come up. And this one is for persons who are disabled or have some kind of physical disability. This is an opportunity to have some personal assistance funded. Anything from light housekeeping, bathing, dressing, meal prep, shopping, driving, helping with public transportation, up to 40 hours per week. So I just want to encourage the public to take a look at it. There's information on our website about it. I also posted it on my Facebook page.
Good.
Our staff is certainly well versed and ready to help anybody who might want to try applying for that program. So I just wanted to highlight the program for a second.
Thank you. It is an 800 number, and we discussed this as well as the other financial matters in the Budget Committee just recently. So we're well knowledgeable about the resolutions we're about to vote on today. So thank you. All right. Any other discussion on Resolution 241? Any public comments? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick? Yes. Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes. Please read number 242.
Grant application and acceptance from the New Jersey Department of Health for the Tanning Facilities Registration and Inspection Project, amount not to exceed $3,000.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Kern, second by Commissioner Gatto. We discussed this in the budget as well. We did about 11 inspections, I think there was. 13 inspections, okay. Very good. Any other discussion? Any public comment? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes. We'll entertain a motion to combine and adopt resolutions 243 to 246 and 248, Chapter 159.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Any public comment? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick? Yes. Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes, please read 249. I'm sorry. You're correct, 247, thank you. Got ahead of myself, 247.
New Jersey Transit NJ Job Access and Reverse Commute 2022-2023 in the amount of $160,000 and a county cash match of $160,000 for FTA Section 5311 Innovations 2022 and Local Transportation Project Funding 2023.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, second by Commissioner Days. Yes, this has a county match, cash match. Any discussion? Any public comment on 247? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick? Yes. Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes. And 249.
Professional Services Agreement with Maldonado Britt and Associates limited liability partnership for the provision of psychological evaluation and treatment for adolescent sex offenders, amount not to exceed $15,750.
So
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Kern, second by Commissioner Ballas. Any discussion? Any public comment? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey? Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick? Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley.
Yes, please read 250.
Amending Resolution Number 606, adopted on November 1st, 2022, a professional services agreement with Friendship Perillo Associates, PA, for additional engineering design services associated with the replacement of Bungalow Park Bridge, EHC 8, Egg Harbor Greenbank Road, County Route 563, over Indian Cabin Creek in Egg Harbor City. Net increase $58,014.80.
Moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, second by Commissioner Kern. Discussion? Any public comment? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick? Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley.
Yes, please read 251.
Amending Resolution Number 50, adopted on February 7, 2023, a competitive contract to add Oceans Harbor House and Crossroads Programs Incorporated as providers for the provision of youth treatment shelter bed services, no additional cost.
Moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, second by Commissioner Kern. Discussion? Hearing none, any public comment? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey? Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick? Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley.
Yes, please read 252.
Renewal competitive contract with Jewish Family Services for the provision of home electronic detention systems case management, and amount not to exceed $174,200.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, second by Commissioner Kern. Discussion? Any public comment? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick? Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley.
Yes, please read 253.
Renewal competitive contract with Atlantic Prevention Resources for the provision of a gun violence prevention program, amount not to exceed $85,700.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, second by Commissioner Kern. Discussion? Hearing none. Any public comment on 253? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick? Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley.
Yes, please read 254.
Bid contract with Velasca Mechanical Incorporated for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning upgrades at the Egg Harbor Township branch of the Atlantic County Library System, amount not to exceed $1,998,600.
Moved by Commissioner Parker, second by Commissioner Gatto. Discussion? Hearing none. Any public comment on 254? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick? Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley.
Yes, please read 255.
Bid contract with Michelle's Home and Office Cleaning Service and Specialty Cleaning and Maintenance to provide cleaning services for the Atlantic County Libraries and the Cronin Dental Clinic, amount not to exceed $176,316.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Kern, second by Commissioner Parker. Discussion? Hearing none. Any public comment? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick? Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley.
Yes, please read 256.
Lease agreement with the City of Summers Point for library facilities, amount not to exceed $35,000.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Parker, second by Commissioner Kern. Discussion on this lease? Hearing none. Public comment? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick? Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley.
Yes, please read 257.
Resolution recognizing May 2023 to be Older Americans Month.
Second.
Discussion on that?
Thanks for recognizing us.
You're definitely in the club.
Happy birthday.
We're all the club. Not all.
You really only speaking for yourself. Okay. Us. I mean, us old guys. We haven't got you.
Discussion, public comment, hearing none, call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley.
Yes, please read 258.
Renewal shared services agreement with the Township of Galloway for the provision of snow removal and lawn maintenance at the Galloway Township branch of the Atlantic County Library System, amount not to exceed $10,950.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Parker, second by Commissioner Days. Discussion? Hearing none, any public comment? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley.
Yes, please read 259.
Agreement with Televent Services Incorporated to provide fax scan kiosk at various library branches, revenue generating.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, second by Commissioner Days. Discussion? Hearing none. Public comment? Hearing none. Please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley.
Yes, please read 260.
Agreement with Searcy Dynex to provide Blue Cloud mobile application services by the Atlantic County Library System, amount not to exceed $10,941.32.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Parker, second by Commissioner Gatto. Discussion? Hearing none. Any public comment? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley.
Yes, please read 261.
Resolution authorizing the county to make purchases through the state of New Jersey's cooperative purchasing program, amount not to exceed $14,614,500.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Kern, second by Commissioner Days. Discussion? Hearing none. Public comment? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley.
Yes, please read 262.
Resolution authorizing the Atlantic City Municipal Utilities Authority to enter into Atlantic County's cooperative pricing agreement.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, second by Commissioner Kern. Discussion? Hearing none, any public comment? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley.
Yes, please read 263.
Agreement with the Youth Advocate Program to provide community engagement activities, amount not to exceed $14,820.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, second by Commissioner Days. Discussion?
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
For you to Jerry. Jerry, can you just explain where this money's going?
Where it goes? Well, I mean, I have Curtis Still on, he explained it to the budget subcommittee. So you have like $14,000, it comes from the Youth Service Commission. This Youth Advocate Program is supposed to go into the community and engage agencies to learn about and then to participate in working with youth that are, engaged in the criminal justice system. That's basically it. And I can tell you that they've gotten the judges involved. So in other words, when they hold these meetings within the community, they bring one of the judges from family court to actually sit in on those meetings, as well as our Youth Service Commission members.
Are they still partnering with the Coalition for a Safe Community to go out and do community engagements?
Yes, they do, yeah,
Okay.
correct.
All right, perfect. Thanks.
Good. Any other discussion? Any public comment? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley.
Yes, please read 264.
EUS contract with Insurance Agencies Incorporated to obtain flood insurance for the Atlantic County Animal Shelter, amount not to exceed $2,224.
Move. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Kern, second by Commissioner Gatto. Discussion? Any public comment? It's a low area. We certainly need the flood insurance for the animal shelter, that's for sure. Hearing no further comments, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley.
Yes, please read 265.
Business Associate Agreement between the New Jersey Department of Human Services, Division of Disability Services, and the Atlantic County Division of Intergenerational Services to be included with the 2023-2024 Personal Assistance Services Program grant.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Ballas, second by Commissioner Gatto. Discussion? Hearing none. Any public comment? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes, please read 266.
Standardized board resolution to be filed with the 2023-2024 Personal Assistance Services Program grant by the Atlantic County Division of Intergenerational Services.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Kern, second by Commissioner Gatto. Discussion? Hearing none. Any public comment? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes, please read 267.
Resolution authorizing a first amendment to the March 1998 Memorandum of Agreement between the New Jersey Pinelands Commission and the County of Atlantic concerning the western lake shore of Lake Lenape Park.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, second by Commissioner Kern. Discussion?
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Just to highlight, this is essentially a step needed to help clear the way to be able to repair and replace that dock by the boathouse out at, on that side of Lake Lenape Park. But there was some kind of logistical paperwork that had to be revised, and that's what this is.
Great. Any other discussion? Any public comment? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes, please read 268.
Interlocal services agreement with Atlantic Cape Community College for the remediation training program, amount not to exceed $10,791.60.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Days, second by Commissioner Gatto. Discussion? Hearing none. Any public comment? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes, please read 269.
Agreement with Jewish Family Services for the provision of mental health services to youth at Harbor Fields Youth Detention Center, amount not to exceed $31,600.
Moved by Commissioner Days, second by Commissioner Gatto. Discussion? Hearing none. Any public comment? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I did want to just mention,
Sure.
this is the first year for this program, and we did ask that at the end of the first year, if they can provide any
We
kind
did.
of success metrics or any kind of outcomes, that we would be interested in seeing that.
Yes. Okay. Right, Jerry?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Well,
So we have some
I'll send you,
numbers.
I'll send the board some of the data that we collect all the time, and we submit some to Atlantic City to show Atlantic City what we do for Atlantic City, since
Right.
they always question why they pay taxes to Atlantic County. So I'll send you a copy of the letter.
Answer the question. I got a guy.
All right. Any other discussion? Any public comment? Please call the roll.
You called the roll on that one.
We
Oh, no,
I'm
we
sorry.
did, yeah.
We did, I'm sorry.
It was after the fact.
Yeah.
There for the fact. All right. Moving on to 270.
Agreement with Insight Health for the provision of psychiatry services to youth at Harbor Fields Youth Detention Center, amount not to exceed $16,800.
Second.
Okay, moved by Commissioner Kern, second by Commissioner Gatto. Discussion? Any public comment? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Corsi? Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes, please read 271.
Resolution supporting an application by the Township of Hamilton to the State of New Jersey for Local Efficiency Achievement Program Implementation Grant Funding and authorizing a shared services agreement concerning new vehicle fuel facilities, amount not to exceed $478,075.
Second. Moved by Commissioner Parker, I'm sorry. Commissioner Corsi, second by Commissioner Parker. Discussion? Any important discussion? Any public comment? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes, please read 272.
Amending Resolution Number 222 adopted on April 20, 2021, a contract with the City of Epsecan concerning the reconstruction and elevation of Shore Road, County Route 585, between Ohio Avenue, County Route 630, and Illinois Avenue, County Route 631, to extend the term date only, no additional cost.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Corsi, second by Commissioner Days. Discussion? Hearing none, any public comment? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes, please read 273.
Memorandum of Agreement with Teamsters Local 331, White Collar, Blue Collar Public Safety, and authorizing a formal written collective bargaining agreement incorporating the terms of the MOA for a 3-year period commencing January 1st, 2023.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Corsi, second by Commissioner Kern. And we do have our county council here. If you can give just a brief synopsis on all these, I think we should do that to put it on the record.
Yeah, the first one you have is 273. That's with the white, blue collar, and public safety titles. That's a 3-year contract that would commence January 1, 2023 and run through 12/31/25. The major issues on this concerned wages, and there was agreement that effective January 1 of 2023, there would be a one-time wage adjustment to base salary. Anybody hired or up to December 31 of 2017 would get a $1,500 bump to their base salary. Those hired from January 1, 2018 through December 31 of last year would get a $1,000 bump. Then the contract provides annual wage increases in increments depending on when you were hired. People hired before, for instance, December 31 of 2014 would receive 4.5%, 4%, 4%. Those hired January 1 of 2015 to December 31 of 2017, the numbers are 4, 3.5, 3.5. 2018 up through 12/31 of 2019, 3, 3, and 3. Those hired from January 1, 2020 through 12/31, 2021, it's 3, 2.5, 2.5. And those hired January 1, 2022 to 12/31, 2022, they would go in the this calendar year to the new starting salary, because they're new starting salaries. Next year, they would go to the starting salary plus $200, and then 2% in the last calendar year of the contract. On health and welfare, some changes there where we're trying to get as many people as possible to go into the New Jersey Direct 2030 plan, which is a lower cost plan. And the idea there is that people switch and go into that plan, that they would get a $400 stipend for each year that they're in that plan. We raised the uniform allowance from $600 to $800. There were some changes made with regard to the call-in procedures regarding overtime. And then another big item was on the issue of with the holidays. We add Juneteenth as a holiday. That follows the state schedule, which is the 3rd Friday of June. The Juneteenth is observed here in New Jersey. And then this union, not only this unit, but the other units as well, have agreed to give up Lincoln's birthday and in its place to have the day after Thanksgiving as a holiday. So that will be in some of the things I'm going over will be in all of the contracts.
We hiked the amount that goes for if somebody is working out of title or is training. The differential used to be a $1.15 per hour increment on that. That's raised to $1.50 per hour. And then the public safety telecommunicators, they're the folks that work over at the sheriff's office. We added provisions regarding shift differentials. If you work the 4 p.m. to midnight shift, you get a differential of 50 cents per hour. If you work the 12 midnight to 8 a.m. shift, it's a $1 per hour differential. So those are the basic terms of this. We think it's a fair contract. We're also, we raised the starting salaries in the various categories. All of that is set forth in the memorandum. I don't want to go on here forever and drag this out unnecessarily, but there were some what we believe to be significant increases in the start salaries to try to make things more competitive. It was an agreement that took some time because there were a lot of issues on the board. And I'm going to give a shout out to my assistant county counsel, Joe Moore. I started these negotiations back in the fall, but then in my absence, he came on board and followed through and really did a nice job with this and all the contracts that you're about to put through. So kudos to him. Any questions with regard to this one, white, blue collar, and public safety? Yeah.
It really applies to 273, 74, and 76, all of them. Am I correct to think that nobody got the adjustment yet until we vote on these things?
That's correct.
And so will they get them in the next paycheck?
I don't know that quickly.
No,
How fast will they get them?
we're working on it already. Before you're even voting on it, we're working on it. So we'll get it to them as soon as we can, but not next pay period.
So a whole year of 2022 and a
No.
quarter. One of them
This-
starts in 2022, right?
Well, that's, I don't think it's on, I think
I wanted
she's
to
thinking of
ask-
AFSCME 2302. Remember, AFSCME of 2302 was ended in December of 2021.
One of these contracts does apply to 2022, but that's the
Right.
Central Municipal Court contract,
Right.
which is a totally new contract,
Okay.
because that's a new bargaining unit that we've never had
Right.
before.
But that will include the whole
Yeah.
year of 2022 and the first quarter of 2023 or wherever we are right now. Okay, thank you. I was asked that question. When are we getting on?
Mr. Chairman?
Sure.
Yeah, Commissioner Corsi?
That's usually the
Through
first
you
question.
to solicit first. Let me first of all commend the administration, and let me start with Teamsters. As y'all know, we sit up here and we've heard from Teamsters, AFSCME, you name it, we've heard it. It's no secret that even my colleagues attempted to talk and have had conversations with the administration. I've had breakfast with the county exec to figure out how we can move up the pay scales. This is what happens when you sit around the table. You can agree to disagree, but at the end of the day, where do you meet, right? And so I want to give kudos to Marcus from the
Absolutely.
Teamsters who, in my opinion, led the charge. And if I was suggesting or recommending to other unions, take this as a benchmark and move out with it. There's some good stuff in here. I think that, Jerry, I think you would bear witness with me, some folks didn't even think they would get to this point. But because they was able to sit across the table to agree to disagree and came to common grounds where everybody would feel some type of increases. We always said they were the lowest paid employees in the county, but somebody's got to start the ball rolling, right? And so Teamsters got on board with the administration, with your department, and even our colleagues has been calling the administration, asking questions where we at, right? So this is a good start. And I think that if the other unions are really serious about raises and promotions, et cetera, throughout their departments, this is a good starting point. I'm not saying that they're not at the table. You got to give something to get something. I was approached 2 weeks ago and said that a couple of the union folks, supervisor unions, had an attitude with me because I made the comment, nobody's going to get 100%. I don't change my opinion. Nobody's going to get 100%, like it or not, right? Then what took it to another level was, well, you can't relate because of your salary and your wife's salary. My wife's salary has nothing to do with negotiating the union contract with the union folks. So folks try to take it to a different level. I believe that sitting at the table, great minds prevail, and this is what you get, right? And so kudos to the Teamsters. I hope the rest of them jump on board. I think one of the biggest things was when the when Teamsters decided that they wanted Black Friday, and we made it clear, and Jerry made it very clear. You already used this year, so you won't see it to 2024. If you're really serious about taking Black Friday, you have to give up something. So I think the rest of the unions are going to probably follow step. ASME was here. They agreed, at least in principle, that they would support giving up a holiday for Black Friday. So it's movement happening, right? We've had folks come in here complaining. We understand. I feel it. I understand it. Your constituent, my constituent. At the end of the day, this is a good starting point. It can go up from here, right? And we talked about steps. And we talked about other stuff. So kudos to your administration and certainly to your staff. And Jerry, I tell you, I can't thank you guys enough. The calls I've given y'all back and forth, and I'm not the only one. But y'all listen. And you not only listen to us, but you listen to your employees, and that's a good sign. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And let me just say, you're right, Commissioner. It was a tough negotiation, but a fair negotiation. And Mr. King is a very pragmatic guy. I mean, he was pragmatic with his people in selling this to them, and I think that's important too. You know, well, I think we had good leadership on both sides, and that's what makes it happen. So,
and actually, the Teamsters was overwhelming. With the 115 and 30, it was a small vote against it, but it was overwhelming.
yeah, it was.
Again, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions on this one, or if not, I'll move to 274 if we want the discussion.
We got to vote on it first.
Oh, okay.
Then we'll move on.
Okay.
I just like to simply say, and exactly what Commissioner Corsi said as well, thank you to everyone involved. This county has always negotiated in good faith, and that's the result. So we're very happy with the result. So we'll have a vote. Is there any public comments? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Cortino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes. Please read 274.
Memorandum of Agreement with Teamsters Local 331, Atlantic County Central Municipal Court, and authorizing a formal written collective bargaining agreement incorporating the terms of the MOA for a 4-year period commencing January 1st, 2022.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Corsi, second by Commissioner Gatto. Discussion? Jim, you want?
Yeah, this is a three-year contract, or actually 4-year contract, because this one goes back to cover the time frame starting January 1 of 2022. That's when the court came into existence. Number of these people came over from other courts municipal courts that they had worked in, such as Hamilton Township, Galloway, Egg Harbor Township, and so on. And we received a petition from the Teamsters who represented a number of these positions in the local municipalities when those courts were stationed there. So they came forward asking to be the bargaining representative for this group. We sat down with them, we started negotiations, and those negotiations concluded, about a month or so ago. This will be an agreement that'll carry through to December 31 of 2025. The major items on these, you have annual increases for starting next year, or this year rather, of January 2023, and continuing on for the following 2 years of 4.5% each year. Health benefits, similar thing as before. If people move to the 2030 plan beginning in calendar year 2024, they would get a $400 stipend. One significant thing that we agreed with this group involves the language with regard to qualifying for health benefits at retirement, because a number of these people have worked a number of years in their local municipalities, say like Hamilton Township. We had 1 or 2 ladies came over from Hamilton Township who had been there for between 15 and 20 years. So they asked to have some special considerations, because normally you have to put in around 25 years with the county in order to get those benefits at retirement. And so what we decided to do, we came up with language indicating that the time served with the local municipal court would be considered as qualifying along with the county time to be able to get them to get those health benefits at retirement. And that was something that was a significant item or a significant concession for the county. Same thing with holidays. We added Juneteenth and we deleted Lincoln's birthday and added the day after Thanksgiving. We have various setting up in this contract, and again, this is the initial contract for this group. All of the other, what I'll call boilerplate language that we have in all of the other Teamsters contract, we just carried over. But there were some special provisions with this contract, with this group, because of the type of work they do. And we set forth in the contract various titles to the different positions, various grades, and ways by which a person could qualify if they start out at a lower clerk level. If they go, carry through, perform their work well, and then they take the course that is required to qualify for one of the higher positions. And that's a course that's run by the court system, not by the county, that then will qualify to be able to get promoted into those higher titles. Overall, again, we think this is a fair contract, and it was approved by the unit. And again, you know, Mr. Moore of my office did a good job. And again, I thought the union was very, very fair in coming to the table, advancing things. Again, they didn't get everything that they wanted, but you know, we think it's a good contract and you know, helps stabilize things over there in terms of the employees of that court.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Questions?
Questions, just
Yes.
a comment, Mr. Chair. This is a great example of the type of things where the devil's in the details when we talk about the shared services, right? And this is what I harp on things when we're looking at shared services. So, you know, we're non-civil service here at the county. Other municipalities are, I'm sorry, we are civil service. Other communities are non-civil service. So if we're bringing in, if we're looking at employees across the county, making sure we have that eligibility, and then hashing out details like you just mentioned, you know, it's not only about the shared service and the savings that we get, but it's impacting people's lives and people's experiences with the services they get. So that was always in the details, and that's why it's just not always as easy to say we're going to do X, Y, Z. We've got to get down to those details to be able to sell the program when we're looking at it. So just a comment.
Commissioner, you're absolutely right on that. We had to go back. One of the bigger issues was with civil service, because since most of the municipalities that are joining this court are non-civil service municipalities, but they have people coming over have to abide by civil service, and we had to put an employee reconciliation plan together, which took a long time,
Right.
and took a few iterations until it got approved by civil service. So you're right, the devil is in the details.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you did a great job navigating all of it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Any public comment? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes, and I'm going to skip forward to 276, which is our last contract. We'll skip 275 and come back to it. Have Mr. Ferguson talk about 276.
Memorandum of Agreement with Teamsters Local 331 Board of Elections and authorizing a formal written collective bargaining agreement incorporating the terms of the MOA for a 3-year period commencing January 1st, 2023.
So moved. Moved by Commissioner Coursey, seconded by Commissioner Ballas. Discussion? You're on, Jim.
Yeah, the last one is the Board of Elections, and similar type terms. The wage increases or adjustments to base wages of the $1,500 for those hired on or before December 31, 2017. Anyone hired January 1st, 2018 through December 31 of last year gets a $1,000 bump to base salary. Again, we have the wage increases similar to what I mentioned in the first contract with white and blue collar, a sliding scale where those hired earlier in the term get higher percentage increases for the 3 years. This is a 3-year contract. It covers going back to January 1 of this year through December 31 of 2025. And then, the lower percentage increases for those that are coming on, increases to various start salaries, and the provisions are similar in terms of the holidays and so forth. So again, we think it was fair, and again, I would ask your approval of it.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Mr. Ballas.
Yeah, just a quick question. Jim, how many other contracts are still in negotiation phase?
We still have the superintendent of elections office with Teamsters. Then if we're able to conclude that, we're done with Teamsters for a while. We have the Ask Me Group 2302. Those negotiations just started fairly recently. I think we've gotten a proposal from them. We're still in negotiations. We're close, I believe, close to reaching an agreement with Genesso. That's the group that represents the nurses at both Meadowview and in the public health unit. Let's see, what else do we have?
GWU.
Yes, the Government Workers Union. They're the employees that work over at the surrogate's office. That's a small group. That's I think it's like 6 or 7 employees in that. We just exchanged proposals there. We're waiting on a first meeting there. We're waiting to wrap up the prosecutor's agents. They're the people who work in the prosecutor's office. They assist the attorneys and all in the setting forth the case, preparing the cases and all. So we're probably close on that. I think I've covered everything that's out there, but we've moved through a lot of these, including the other law enforcement groups that we did earlier, including the PBA 243, which was concluded at the end of last year. So there's been a lot of work that's been done.
Mr. Chairman, if I may?
Yes.
Only one I didn't hear, Jerry, and I might have missed it. I talked about Meadowview, those who are not in unions, there's other folks that's not in unions. What would they fall under? They're not represented by unions.
They would just be management employees.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, just management, yeah.
So they have not been to the table yet?
Well, management, they're non-represented, so, they,
So how do y'all,
we handle them the same way
I
we
just
handle
can't remember.
ourselves.
I'm getting old, I can't remember how the conversation went down. Because remember, I brought the issue up regarding
Yes.
folks at the nursing home that's not represented by unions,
That's correct.
right?
They're handled directly the way we all handled, whatever the agreement is that we would
In
give.
this office, our young
management.
ladies are under that same jurisdiction, correct?
Are they part of the county? No, yes, they are, that's correct. Come on.
Listen, charity
They
starts at
are.
home, so I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
Yes.
We don't take care of the ladies in our office, who the hell is, so I'm gonna make
Hey,
sure, we make sure we do the
For
right thing.
management staff, non-represented, usually we sit down with the executive and go through the budget, what we think we can afford that we would give to management, and what we're doing with the unions. So that's normally what we do, so that's how they're,
If y'all 8 don't decide to take care of the 3 in your office, y'all got a problem. I was waiting for Frank to say something.
Any other discussion? Any public comment? Hearing none, please call a roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes. Going back to 275, please.
Competitive contract with Royal Printing Service for the provision of election ballot printing services for the 2023 elections, amount not to exceed $689,667, and county portion is $407,736.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, second by Commissioner Days. Discussion? Hearing none. Any public comment? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Patino?
Yes.
Coursey? Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker? Risley?
Yes. I'll entertain a motion to adopt 277 and 278. Moved by Commissioner Dorsey, second by Commissioner Kern. We certainly thank all the folks here that are volunteering their time to serve on various committees for the Atlantic County. Any other discussion? Any public comment? Please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey? Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes. We have one road solicitation, roadway solicitation,
All the-
279.
Authorizing consent for a roadway solicitation event by the Egg Harbor Township Kiwanis Club at the intersection of English Creek Avenue, County Route 575, and West Jersey Avenue in the Township of Egg Harbor on Saturday, September 9, 2023, and Sunday, September 10, 2023, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Coursey, second by Commissioner Kern. Discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey? Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes, and please read our commissioner-sponsored resolution number 280.
Resolution recognizing May 2023 as Mental Health Awareness Month, sponsor Maureen Kern.
Second?
Moved by Commissioner Coursey, second by Commissioner Days. Discussion?
Thank you,
Maureen?
thank you, Chair. I just want to say, this is actually began as, May, as Mental Health Awareness Month since 1949. One of the main objectives is to fight against the stigma. That's one of the biggest issues that we deal with. But also provide, support, educate the public, as well as advocate for policy. Mental health affects all of us in one way or another. I'm sure many of us have been affected by mental health. If you know someone you love is going through a hard time, you don't need to have all the answers. Between our county and the state, there are a lot of resources available. We have many of them noted on our website. And I also just want to really applaud our advisory board. They work so hard. A lot more funding is coming into them, and it is a very, very truly committed board. And they're always out there advocating. I am amazed by this board, and I just want to commend them, for all their efforts that they do on behalf of mental health.
Very good, thank you. Any other discussion? Any public comment? Please call the roll.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Coursey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes. Okay. Do we have any reports of committees of the board? Would you like to talk about anything?
I do, sir.
Yes.
I want to congratulate or shine light on the Atlantic County Cultural and Heritage Affairs Committee for hosting their another successful year of the Teen Arts Festival in downtown Hamilton. We had over 1,100 students that attended, and of the 1,110 schools have received nominations to present their work at the State Teen Arts Festival. So 10 of our schools will be going on to the state to continue to try to win some more. So congratulations to Kim Brown and all the hard work that she does and that committee. I also would like to congratulate Mr. Andrew Lisa. I'm going to thank you for subbing in for you. Mr. Andrew Lisa, he's a junior at Egg Harbor Township High School. I'm going to congratulate him, his family, and his troop, Troop 94, for receiving the Eagle Scout Court of Honor Award the other day. And let's see what else we have. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week was last week. So to all my teachers and educators out there, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, sir. I try to appreciate myself sometimes. Also, the McKee City Betterment ribbon cutting is going to be this Saturday, May 20th, from 10 to noon. There will be a plaque dedication to Colonel John McKee and to McKee, the MK Betterment, McKee City Betterment. There will be a DJ, food trucks, pickleball, basketball, contests, giveaways. It will be a great time, so all are welcome to come out and enjoy the festivities. And I believe that is all that I have to share, sir.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else like to give any committee reports? Yes, Mr. Bertino.
Just briefly, the Solid Waste Advisory Committee met again recently to review the responses to the questions from the ACOA that the committee had posed to them. So I think we're getting near the end of our question back and forth. They've given us volumes of responses. I think they tried to bury us with paperwork, but of course we read it all, so it really doesn't matter. So, but I think we're going to be putting together a report for you guys that may come back to the entire body and let you know the questions that were posed and the responses that they gave us back, so you'll have some information for your constituents. We were pretty thorough, I think, and pretty diligent in requesting some information, and they gave some back. I do suggest, Mr. Chairman, that you do at some point get a hold of Matt or Rick and have them come back and talk about the ACOA's plans and where they're at right now, because they have been in their process of reviewing alternatives to what they're going to do a few years from now. It's an ever-changing market.
Yes,
they've learned a lot from their bid process. They have a big issue, of course, what to do with all the trash in Atlantic County in 4 or 5 years. And I think for them at least to come back to this board publicly, they did it in the SWAC committee meeting, and I think that's the information they gave us gave you some insight as some of the processes that are available that they're looking at. It's going to be complicated, whatever it is, it's going to be expensive because the technology's there to make some dramatic changes in the way you handle material today. But there may be some buy-in at some point that the public's going to have to be part of. And they should hear that discussion from the beginning, not 4 or 5 years from now.
I would say it should be Matt. I mean,
Matt,
Rick's
you're
party's
right, yeah.
scheduled, so I think it should be Matt. So.
Matt's responses, they came from Matt last time.
Yeah.
So, and Matt's going to be there.
Thank you. Anyone else like to give a report?
Yeah. When we're
Yes.
talking about people coming to speak, I attended 2 events having to do with the economic outlook with Atlantic County. One of which was the South Jersey forecast. Another one was ours, the Atlantic County Economic Group, giving theirs. I think we should have them come in at some point and give an update because they were both very positive and quite a bit going on with those 2 groups. The South Jersey forecast, which, that goes through the Lloyd Levinson Institute of Gaming and Hospitality. They put that on, and they had a number of people up there speaking, very positive about the outlook for the summer. Same issues, with getting help, but they look forward to even increasing over last year, which they did extremely well. And last year we had Cape May and Atlantic County representatives there.
Very good. Anyone else? I'd like to mention that I attended the New Jersey Association of Counties, and of course we were all represented there. And one of our own was given an award. Our treasurer, Bonnie Lindau, was given an award. Recognized for her big deal. Congratulations again, Bonnie.
Thank you.
Very nice. Okay, anyone else? Okay. Moving on, do we have anything under the topic of unfinished business? Down there? New business?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
I don't know if this falls under new business, but I'm gonna bring it up. So most of you know the issue regarding Atlantic Cape Community College. The latest, the college, where the coach had to resign for cheating with things in their helmets.
Baseball.
Let me be clear. That is an embarrassment to all of us. Right? Whether you work at the college, you attend the college, or you on a team, it's an embarrassment. Every news circuit up and down the coast have run this story. It's embarrassing. Everybody point the finger this way, that way, whatever the case may be. I understand that the coach had to resign. I happen to have been at the game, most of the home games I make anyway.
Your son plays?
My son plays. Interesting first base. Interesting part about it, I knew something was going down on the field, so I go down there, and the coach says to me, this doesn't this does not entail you, basically. It's all I feel it does. I oversee the
You told you to
field.
mind your business. and
Basically what he said, right?
I've been hearing that too much lately.
So I thought, figure if that was the case, since I run the stadium, it is my business, right? So, and the results was he wound up having to resign, either get fired. So it's an embarrassment to the college. The question really becomes, where do we go from there? I mean, we talked about the meetings, that talked about the blacks, the whites, different places. They try to brush that under the rug. Then you get this a national thing. It's an embarrassment. And as commissioners, as folks in the county, we said kids there, our kids go there, whether it's kids in our community, our constituent base. Where does it stop? Where's the accountability? Right? So I reached out to a couple of trustees. I'll talk to them. Everybody points the finger back to somebody else. That's not how you do it. Right? And so maybe it needs to be a shakeup. I'm not afraid to say it. Maybe it needs to be a shakeup at the college. And you start at the top and you work your way down. But somebody has to be accountable. You can't keep saying disgruntled people. You can't keep saying they just blown it out of proportion. No. We put millions and millions of dollars into that college. And at the end of the day, as I had a conversation with my colleague Parker the other day, we sit here and we appoint people to the board. And we have to ask the question, what authority do we have? Right? Very little. But the most important authority that we do is subpoena power. We need to start subpoenaing their behinds here. Not going to them, bring them here and have them answer questions to us. Not us go to them. That's the most important stuff we can do. Because one, we're spending taxpayers' money at that college. So we do have some say-so. In spite of what they say, they don't have to listen to us, they don't answer us, we can't tell them what to do. There's last couple of weeks in the budget, et cetera, $3.4 million that we continue to give money to the college because it's the right thing to do. But we're not holding the people at the top accountable. What the hell difference does it make? I've sent most of you the articles that was coming out, and most of y'all responded back. It's an embarrassment. And so I'm saying, as commissioners, as the county, we got to hold them accountable from the president down. And I know the president can't do everything. There's 3 vice presidents. There has to be, somebody has to get the message. Don't get the little guy that's been there 13 years, has been the coach, and he just has to resign, and you think the problem goes away. It doesn't, right? He just got caught.
Yeah, what's the equipment manager, what's the...
The athletic director.
There's nobody knows, nobody saw anything, so, and honestly, if I can, you're finished.
I yield the balance of my time.
Thank you, you'll take it back, I'm sure, but we do have a fiduciary responsibility when we do pass on this stuff, because as we all know, whenever there's something happens at any facilities here in the county, we get the phone calls and they ask us, didn't you know that was going on? Well, what is there that we can do to see, at least bring the people in and have them discuss what their process is to see that it's prevented from happening again. Obviously, when something like that happens, it probably just didn't start the last 3 weeks. So I don't know how long that's been going on. Hopefully it wasn't long term, but it sends a wrong message when your staff, if that's allowed to go on and you don't have the checks and balances. Even as I said, maybe the equipment guy, I mean, he's putting the stuff away, somebody's moving the materials in and out. There had to be somebody knowing a little bit more than what was going on. So it does need to be looked at a little bit further, and I kind of agree with Commissioner Corsi on it. Once in a while, you got to utilize the power you do have here, and we do have power. And we're all in support of education, but education's got to act by its rules, and it's got to be able to police itself, and we got to know what some of that is. If it's the case, obviously in this instance with the college, it is the case. We're going to have to go a step further.
Commissioner Davis.
Yeah, I wasn't going to comment on this, but you made me think. I don't believe everything I read in the paper, for a good reason. But what I did read was nobody had any record of that equipment being ordered or paid for, or how did it come about being in the equipment. So, when you were talking about the process, that kind of to me raised a red flag, and I do think we do have a concern. Was taxpayer money used for this? Why does nobody know? So.
But interesting, if I may,
sure.
Excuse me, I'm told some foundation paid for it. We don't know if the college said it. They can't tell you they've been using them in all the games. One of the disturbing things is this. One thing I will never do is take food out of somebody's family's mouth. However, since the contract is up for the president of the college, and because they was not notified, she gets an extra year, maybe we need to be talking about on a year-to-year contract based on performance. If you're not holding the people at the top accountable, what do you think the people underneath you gonna do? Right? And you got board members who sit there, you go along and get along. It has to be checks and balances, right? And so it's an embarrassment to the kids because where the young athletes go, oh, you part of the team that was cheating. Had nothing to do with it, but again, it's ACCC's college. It's our college as far as I'm concerned because we pump millions of dollars into it. Again, I'm saying to my colleagues and to the administration, we have to hold them accountable. County executives sends people over here for us to vote on them. They need to be held accountable too, as board trustees, right? So we don't get beat up in the public and getting blamed for stuff we don't even know about. And for example, and I'm done, if I would never have raised the issue about the lawsuits, when I reached out to you and the captain, nobody knew about lawsuits until I brought it up. I thought it was 3, it wound up being 5. One settled, one's pending, the other 3 still out there. And then you look at some of the trustees, their heads snap like, what are you talking about? We should not be getting that stuff in the public. It's embarrassing as elected officials. And so I wanted to raise that issue because I don't care what circuit you look at, as recently as Sunday, they still run it, NJ.com, and everybody's running the article about Atlantic County Community College coach resigned because of cheating. That's unacceptable. And again, it couldn't have just been him.
Right. Can I just say 2 things?
Sure.
Are you finished?
I'm done.
So 2 things. Again, the environment that allowed that to happen, it wasn't just the coach, obviously. It couldn't have been because there has to be at least 2 people involved to make something like that happen. And I think most importantly, what kind of example is that for the students? You know, that's just horrible. Cheating's okay. It's not okay.
Question to you, if I may, yes, Chair, to you, Commissioner Corsi. Now, you were the previous chair of education in schools, and now I'm chairing. Now, I'm having there's a lot of questions about what the purpose of these committees are. What are we supposed to be doing? What's the boundary of what we're supposed to be inquiring? So in education in schools, is this something that falls within that the boundary of something that we should be convening to talk about because it is a school that's in our county? I don't have an answer to that question. I have no idea. So is that something that we should be having them come to our education in schools committee and then bringing that information, our findings back to this board, and then deciding whether we want to have them come and subpoena them to answer to the general board?
That's a good idea.
That comes with the authority. But see, I would have to say, Mr. Chairman, if I may, since I've been here, this is the first 2 times that we've had these big incidents that we're aware of. Now, I'm not saying this never happened before, but this is the first time I can honestly say lawsuits and getting terminated for cheating has ever come before the board. So normally, if there's an issue, they would just come and say, we want to do X, Y, and Z. But now there has to be some accountability because there's some serious allegation. As a matter of fact, there's some truth to it.
I'm saying that because we have had conversations, you and I, and so I have been inquiring and making phone calls to see what we can do, what's possible for us. So if that's the route that we can take, because like I said, when you first said it, I'm a little bit tired of hearing that's none of your business. I'm tired of hearing it. I'm hearing it far too often when we sit here and we vote out millions of dollars, like you said, or hundreds of thousands of dollars to an organization or to a department, only to be told to mind our business. Well, that is our business. Now, nobody up here wants to, vote no and giving money to a college because that's not going to affect the president. That's not going to affect the vice president. That's going to affect the kids. So nobody wants to do that. But at some point in time, we do have to consider using our authority to send a message. If that's what if their answer to us is going to be mind your business, then our answer to them should be, we'll do it with our vote. And you won't receive that money. And you figure out how to fund your program.
I totally agree.
Well, we're talking about the same things going back and forth. If this is something, and it sounds like the majority of the commissioners feel like should be discussed further in the committee, then go into committee, call for a hearing, call the people you want to call to come to your committee, get the answers that that you're asking for, policy process, put it together in a report. That's what your job is in those committees, is to do the investigation, because you're dealing with contracts, you're dealing with personnel. You got to be careful what you say publicly. So I would be cautious of that, especially in the education system. Everybody's got attorneys, everybody has unions. But you want to bring them in committee and talk to. If it's trustees you want to bring in, that's your purview and your call. You decide who you want to discuss the issues with to get the answers that you guys need. But I think we're all saying the same thing. Let's just find out what the process is there and make sure there's the checks and balances that are supposed to be in place whenever you're dealing with public funding. I'm sure there is. Give them the opportunity to come and respond. Let's not just sit here and talk about what we think might have happened or how it went down. Absolutely.
So, Mr. Chairman, if I may, on that same line, so I thought, in my personal opinion, at first I didn't agree. When the chairman agreed to have the meeting at the college, I said we should have brought him here. When the chairman wanted to go there, we went. At the end of the meeting, we thought we've come out to some kind of agreement that we would meet regular.
Yes.
Actually, Frank had let me attend because he's on the committee. I'm no longer on the committee to attend that meeting. At the end of the day, we thought we were moving forward only to get this. So we didn't move forward. Hell, we went backwards. But I thought it was a good process getting started. As the chair of the committee, as Bettina said, some is their behinds here. Because my goal was to have just the president and the 3 vice presidents of the college meet with us. But the president, decided she would have the chair, the vice chair, and lottie-dottie, and everybody at the meeting. The chairman did an outstanding job convening the meeting, but I don't think they take us serious enough. I think we need to show them better than tell them.
That's what your committee is for.
Yeah. As you may recall, we had the initial meeting, of course, to do the Board of School estimates, which we're required to do. And at that meeting, I suggested that we meet on a regular basis because I have different thoughts and feelings about things as well. And it was agreeable, and of course, we're not the only one involved with this. Our sister county, Cape May, is also involved in this. So it's a partnership, and we will be having another meeting with the college very soon. I am sure of that because I'm going to make it happen. We do have lots of questions. And my questions were initially regarding the declining enrollment and what we could do as a county to help the college increase enrollment. And the image of the college, the stature of the college is very, very important to me. As a person not only that went there, but as a county, that college is very important to us in Atlantic County. And I'm sure it's important to those in Cape May County as well. So we will be having another meeting, and I'll be calling that fairly soon. Any other discussion? Nothing more under new business. Are there any written communications or petitions? If not, we'll open the meeting to the public. And the meeting's now open to the public for public comments. Anyone would like to speak will be provided for 3 minutes. If you are attending virtually, please type yes in the question and answer box. You'll be called upon to speak, and a request to unmute will be sent. Please state your name and the town you reside in. Anyone else would like to speak? Yes.
Sure. Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Hector Tavares. I'm from Egg Harbor Township. And I wanted to bring a situation to your attention that some of you are aware of because I personally texted you when it occurred. It's quite a good situation that in April of this year, 16 kids that represent a lot of your districts from throughout the county, they represent 8 middle schools and high schools, after winning not one state championship, but 3 robotics New Jersey state championships in a row. They traveled to Houston, Texas to represent New Jersey. Only 4 teams got to travel from New Jersey. In the state of New Jersey, there were over 300 First Tech Challenge robotics teams that competed. And I'm happy to say that we won the state championship for 3 years in a row. But this year, they won a double championship, winning the overall championship and winning the field championship. They were one out of 192 teams worldwide There were almost 7,000 teams worldwide. They were one of 192 teams that represented the county of Atlantic at this tournament. Over 7,000 teams there, 25 countries represented, and I'm happy to say that the team came in second. So they did extremely well.
Second is great.
Yeah, they did extremely well. They had some issues, but they did extremely well. We missed the World Championship by that much. So
How many are on the team?
there are 16 kids from middle schools and high schools that represented us. They're with the Police Activities League of Egg Harbor Township and Atlantic County. Some of these kids have been on the team for 4, 5, 6 years. And the reason I wanted to come tell you today is that on Saturday, we are having our first ever college signing day for these kids. And so we have, from Egg Harbor Township, we will have 7 kids. I'm sorry, from the PAL, we will have 7 kids from our group. And then there are some kids that are traveling from throughout New Jersey to be there. And it's a luncheon, and I want to invite you all to attend. It is something that we have wanted to do for a long, long time, is to give these extremely intelligent, hardworking kids the same recognition that the athletes are getting. And so it's going to be at the new PAL Center at 2542 Ridge Avenue. I invite all the commissioners to attend and meet some of the kids from your county that are impressing the world. So,
What time is that, Hector?
Noon. It's right after the McKeith CD Betterment ribbon cutting, I guess.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
If the gentleman would be so kind to provide to the clerk's office the name of those individuals who will do a certificate of recognition as well, perhaps, Mr.
Absolutely.
Chairman, in our next meeting.
Absolutely.
Or thereabout,
Thank you.
to be provided to them.
Thank you very much.
Very good. Anyone else like to speak?
Anybody, can I just come up, or? I'm a little hard to hear. So I hope everybody can hear me all right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, my name is Dennis B. Maurer, I live in the township. And I've been on the county Meals on Wheels for, oh geez, it must be 15 years. My nephew lives with me, he's been on them also. He's under the Department of Developmental Disabilities through the state. And I was getting 4 hours a week in aid through the county. And the guy that worked for me for over 3.5 years through the county, he decided to move on. So when I called in, they didn't have any agency that would pick it up. So I called and she said, call back in a week, and I called. Make a long story short, you know, I said to her, she said they didn't have anybody, but they're working on it. Well, what happened was I said, you know, she said, is everything okay? I said, yeah, my nephew's there and my wife. And she said, oh, you're married? I said, yeah, I got married. And she said, oh, well, you're not entitled to this anymore. Your wife can take care of it. Then the next day, no Meals on Wheels came. And I don't know, a couple of days went by and I called, no Meals on Wheels came. So I called in and the lady, the receptionist, told me that I'm not entitled to it anymore. I'm not entitled to the Meals on Wheels because I'm married. So it's taken me quite a bit, maybe over a month or so, but I've searched every site. I can't walk, I can't really leave the house. I'm homebound. And under Medicare guidelines, you go to a doctor. Well, what brought that up was the director finally did call me. And she told me that, you know, I said, well, I wanted to get a meeting with her. And she said, you can't come to the county, can't come in the building. And I said, well, I want to talk to you. And she said, you can't do it. She said, if you can do that, you can go to the county feed sites and get your food there. That's what she told me. You know? And I said, well, I've been on Meals and Wheels at Homes. I said, I want to talk to you in person. You know, and under Medicare, you can go to a doctor, you can go to a funeral, you can go to any government building. It's on the United States website. You know, and that's why I'm here. I mean, I know I only got, you know, a couple minutes, but she finally ended up hanging up on me. I said to her, you know, I record this. And she said, oh, I'm done with you. Boom, she hung up. And the reason I recorded it because I don't want to make mistakes. I want to be polite, all right? I don't want to say that you said this to me or you said that to me. I can go back and listen to it. But she said I was combative. All right, now I did call Dick Squires. That lady was very nice. Got this lady, finally ended up to call me. All right, and then finally the reason I'm here is I got nowhere to go. I have 45 things open that I researched through the federal government, the state, you know, about the nutrition programs. And it says right on the sites. Now I'll read one last thing, I promise I'll shut up. Age 60 or over, housebound, incapable due to an accident, illness, fatal, unable to prepare meals. Neither one of my nephew or me can prepare meals. It's been that way. They know it. They came many years ago and evaluated me in order to get this program. And I know a lot of people need it. There's no doubt about it. I know the waiting list is really long. All right, unable to prepare meals safely and/or knowledge and skill to prepare meals. Okay, a lack of support from family, friends, neighbors, health, aides, or other caregivers to help you secure regular meals. Okay, it didn't say anything about a spouse in any site I researched anywhere. About if a spouse, so I'm being penalized because I was able to get married. When the lady discontinued, they never asked, was your wife working? Is your wife there all the time? You know, there was no questions. It was click, you're done. So that's it in a nutshell.
Mr. Chair.
Yes. go ahead.
I'm going to put,
Yeah.
Gary don't know what can really answer that question for us.
I can't answer his situation. I can certainly, you know, find out about it, you know, pretty quickly.
We would like you to research it and get back to the gentleman.
Yeah.
I understand that. I really do.
And at the very least, the program we talked about at the top of the agenda, the personal assistance program that's available through grant funding, I mean, it
Right.
sounds like both,
That comes through the state, that money. I did find that out.
well, we administer it
Yeah.
though. We voted on it tonight, I'm sorry.
Did you really?
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so I think, you know, Jerry will, I think we're just looking for you to be
Yeah.
a guiding hand
Yeah.
to this gentleman through the process.
Well, according to the state website that I looked up on that, there should be no reason why I should have been thrown off that.
That gentleman over there will do the best he can.
I've been
to see
on
what
it
we will
for
do.
God knows how long.
Yeah, I don't think any of us would disagree with you.
He's just gonna need your phone number and say, I don't know how you do it, but Jerry, we got my.
Oh, I just got his name. That's all I need. If he's been on,
But you
he's
need
Long
been on all the time. All I need is his name, and they have a file on
They'll
everything.
know me.
Yes. Right.
They'll know me. I appreciate your time, everybody.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank
Any
you.
help
Thanks
getting
for
the
coming
bill
all
up?
the way out.
That's my nephew, Brian.
Hey, nephew, thank you for
You know what I
bringing.
mean? He's a little nervous, so he's not familiar with coming into stuff like this.
I mean, both did a great job.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Officer.
Anyone else like to speak? Anyone on the internet? speak?
Good job coming to speak.
If not, move on to good of the order. Any comments on the good of the order? Yes.
I just have two. One is congratulations to the Cape Community College students that are graduating later this week. And also congratulations to our new mayor of Margate, Mayor Michael Becker. So we congratulate
Collins.
Collins, sorry.
Collins. That was there.
Michael Becker was the one going out.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Very good. Anyone else? Anything else?
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner?
Yeah, just real quick, it's Tuesday, Thursday, Spirit of Halloween, doing their groundbreaking with their new addition they're putting on. You know, they bought Trockey Eagle Academy and basically cleared that entire site there. You know, so now basically Spirit owns from where that red door liquor store is, the liquor store, the old Pistol Pete's, from there all the way to the cemetery.
Wow.
And they're like one of the largest employers in the county.
That's when's the date again?
No, it's Shore Mall is their store.
Oh, okay.
That's their corporate offices. That's their corporate offices for nationwide business.
Yeah.
What's the date and time again, Frank?
It is this Thursday at 11 o'clock.
11.
Thank you.
Good.
We bring a lot of their big conventions to the area as well. They do.
Big business.
All right, anything else on the good of the order? If not, I'll ask for a motion for adjournment. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to say I hope our ladies had a wonderful Mother's Day and you were celebrated in the way that you deserve, and if you weren't, then make sure they do it this weekend.
All right, well, thank you.
Happy Mother's Day, everyone.
Yes. All right, then a motion for adjournment. So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. The meeting's adjourned.